I've been planting in that field is this Augusta hybrid seed corn. It's conventional, non-GMO. Well, we're out here in the cornfield seeing if my corn is dry enough. I think it probably looks dry enough. Have to see if it squeaks when you twist the ear. That's how I tell if it's got too much moisture in it. It seems to me it's dry enough. I'm gonna go ahead and start picking, I guess. It got the corn picker greased up, chains tight and everything, so I guess there's no reason not to start picking. I got to do a little fixing on it. There's some rusted out spots where corn can fall out the bottom. Not the whole ear, but the individual kernels can fall out, so I gotta do a little patching, so I best get to it. Hey, underneath of here, the old corn picker, and finding out there's some rust outs I gotta fix. The underneath of here, the elevator bottom that takes the corn up to the wagon, the bottom is gone. As you can see, I had patched it up some with some duct tape, but it rusted much more than just duct tape to hold. So we're gonna have to put something under there. I'll find something. Now you might be asking, why don't I just buy the correct part? So you can unbolt this, and they sell them. I think they're $130, $140, something like that. Why don't I just buy the right piece and put on there? Well, I could, but that wouldn't get here for several days, and I need to pick corn today. So we got to find something that I can fix this with and go ahead and pick some today. So let's see what I can find. We're going to start looking. Got this old piece of tin that originally was the back of some electrical appliance of some kind or something, a pretty big old one that I had used it for originally the first side shield that I had on, not the ether eater. And as you can see, I've already cut a circle out of it for some other project, but let me cut a strip out of here and we'll see about attaching it. There you go. I'll crawl under there and bend it to the right shape and mark where I put the holes. I think I'm gonna, there's already a hole existing here. I'm gonna drill another hole over here and put some carriage bolts coming through to hook the bottom to, and then I'm gonna put the other end on these little bolts wherever they are. Can't see where my finger is. Right there, yep. Okay. Well, we're bolting it on, so guess we'll see how it does. We're getting it. It's lining up pretty good. It looks like it's going to work out all right. We'll look at the finished product. Well, we're getting the last of the bolts tightened up. Looks a lot better than having a bunch of old duct tape on there, but I might put some on there just for looks anyway. A little bit of a gap here. I might take care of that gap by bending that lip up. So let me see if I can do that. Get this started, and then I can just kind of tap it into position maybe. don't have the right kind of pliers. Oh yeah. I can't see it leaking. Let me just tap that a little bit. Yep, it can't leak up here because this flap goes all the way across, so it just needs to cover up that spot there. I think we're good. I think we're pretty good. Pretty good shape. Yep. Anyway, we're gonna let it go at that. I think I got everything patched up and ready to roll, so let's head on out there, wade out into the field and see if there's any ears out there on them stalks. Well, I got a load on there. Doesn't look too bad. As you can see, I got a lot of red ears. Some rows on the other end were some that I shelled off. The rest was, the yellow stuff is that good Augusta corn that I planted. Anyway, doesn't look too bad. Didn't take too long to get the load on there, so I got to get the elevator ready to set up so I can put it in the crib. Well, the morning arrived cool and crisp. There's a little bit of breeze blowing, so it's probably going to mess up with the microphone on here and you get a lot of wind noise, and I apologize for that. But picked some corn, and truth be told, I had picked about a half a load from well, in the back a few days ago. Well, I just picked what I had left over after I cut silage in the backfield. I just let it run in the door of the corn crib. But now that I got a full load picked, I got to get the elevator up here and get it greased up and oiled up, put the little electric motor on it, and get it set up and get it running. so I can unload corn, and then I'll go out and pick a little more. So let me get down there and grab it. I think I'm gonna pull it up here with Pop and Johnny. Yep. Pop and Johnny always starts. Uh-oh, I should not have said that, should I? There you go. Got a driver's eye view this morning. I don't think I even used that last year. I had such a small amount of corn. We used to use this for hay bales as well as corn, but I can still hear the sound of the bales dropping in there. And Dad would drop them in on the side so it wouldn't cut the strings on the paddles. I'm just going to pull them up with the little piece of chain here. See how that works. Looks like the axle bearings on this thing are completely worn out and gone, which is crazy because I don't think the thing would have even been moved 1 mile of total distance since it was new here on the farm here. Anyway, after it got here, I don't know, but it'll move with them like that, so I guess that's the way they're going to stay. We've never put new tires on it as far as I can remember either, and I remember when this came on the farm I was under 10, so it's nearly 25 years old. Put the electric motor on. It's always important with an elevator or something like that to use an electric motor instead of hooking up a PTO to it, because if the chain jumps a cog or something plugs it up, the tractor's just going to keep on turning and break the chain and bend up metal and just do all kinds of damage, tear up stuff terrible, whereas the electric motor will just stall. So it's always important to do that. You save a lot of headaches that way. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. Fixing to do that right now. See ya. At some point while viewing some of my videos, I'm sure some of you may have asked, why doesn't he ever buy anything new? Why is he still using that old broke up antique stuff? Well, it still works. Never had the need to update it. It does a job like anything new would. Never expanded the operation where I needed bigger equipment or anything. Because who needs the headaches? Who needs the payments? Who needs the attitude of trying to keep up with the next guy? Who needs to make money? Well, we do make money, but the only way we make it is by, the only way we survive, let me say, is by saving 80% of what we make. Because we sure don't make much. Ain't like some people who take out loans and borrow money, and we've never done that once, ever. I hate to say that. I'm afraid God might say that's prideful and put me in a situation where I have to. So let me just say, by the grace of God, thankfully, you know, we've never been in debt and never owed nobody anything. So, and this old equipment works just fine. I mean, what the heck? Why would you spend a bunch of money and have to make payments on new stuff when you old stuff you can get it to last just one more year, can't you? Anyway, we have to make sure the machine is properly oiled, getting oil on the chains and everything. So now comes the most tedious part of the operation, where I got to turn this crank and crank this thing up to get it up vertical enough to go up at the top of that. This is where you need a kid about 10 years old with nothing to do but wanting to try out his muscles. Turn that crank. It takes a long time. Well, while you weren't looking, we got the elevator up there. It wasn't pretty, but we got it up there. And got some appropriate duct tape where we needed it on the apron here. And time to pull the load up and get them in there. Yeah, we've got the wagon all lined up. Let's plug her in. Tractor got a little bit thirsty.